Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Thursday, the 16th of February, 2023. Now, for those of you who are on the social media platform, you're always on the go, and you want to look at Saeed, you have a Facebook account, you can log on to Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. It's our Facebook page. We give you updates during the course of the day that incidents that happen in Trinidad and Tobago and sometimes outside our country. Those of you on YouTube, you love to look at YouTube instead of Facebook. We're on YouTube also. It's TT Real Talk. Now you can subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live, viewers. So it's Thursday night in Trinidad and Tobago. It's Fantastic Friday on tomorrow night. There are many of you who are getting prepared for the carnival season. The DJ trucks, the masqueraders, the promoters, the bands, the events. You know, carnival is a big thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Faris said this will be the mother of all carnival. It's the first carnival we're having in about 2 or 3 years in Trinidad. I know everyone is eager to come out and fet on the streets, on the venues, but keep in mind, this is the first carnival for about 2 years. They're going to have all sorts of incidents taking place from now until carnival. Serious. So viewers, be safe when you're on the outside. Remember, don't drink too much. TTPS is starting to let the public know, well, hey, look at your surrounding. Again, I couldn't have. Look at your surrounding, make sure it's safe, make sure you're parking your vehicle in a safe zone. You have kids, make sure they are safe. Always keep an eye on them. You know, it's a lot of things going to be happening from Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Ash Wednesday. Everybody going to church, you're going to mosque, you might go on the beach, you know, it's a relaxing time. So just be mindful of the little ones if you have. Going out with them is very dangerous. Trinidad and Tobago will be out on the streets, on the venues. So viewers, as we start our program tonight, remember I'm a licensed money lender. Those of you who want cash borrow, money borrow, it's not a problem. I would love to do business with you. But make sure you stick to your agreement. A lot of people want to do business at Saieed, and after a month, 2 months, you want to play your ducking and you're hiding. No, I will set you up on television. You can't run and hide from me. You can't do that. Keep in mind, when you do that and you go on national television, the entire population is going to talk about you. The entire population is going to talk about you. Like Nicholas Bodram, who lives in Moruga. He does work taxi. His father does work taxi. They live up Moruga. We see, the thing is that Nicholas feels, I don't know where he lives. That's what's going on with him. And for a young man who works in taxi, you understand? For a young man who works in taxi and wants to make it in life, you start bad. Because when your picture go on national television, and your friends and your family know that, hey, you are inside and you're running and you're ducking. I hear he hide the car. But nevertheless, bailiff go pick up with him with police. I hope the father and mother and the aunt and the grandfather and whoever in authority don't step in. Because so help my God, I will light a light. I'm telling you, I will light a light. You see, I just always tell the public, you want to do business, not a problem. Deal straight with me, and I will deal straight with you. You come wrong corner, police and bailiff will pick you up. And you know, police and bailiff, when they come in to seize an item, you could say what you want, you know. You could say what you want. They will lift you up and put you in a rubbish can and take what they have to take and go with it. You know, when furniture stores, when the truck pull up in front of the property, you jumping high and you jumping low. You calling God, or you calling the devil, you calling everybody. They will walk in your house and take what you had to take. The thing is that they don't have the opportunity to publish the individual on television like me. You see, Nicholas, just how you working hard for your money, just how Saeed is working hard for his money. You understand? And when you sign a document by me, you sign a legal document. It's a legal document. I could come and pick up anything you have for the value. Or what you use as collateral. So I wonder how your friends in Princeton area are feeling now, Nicholas. That your picture going up on television. And knowing that you're running and you're ducking and you're hiding. How that look good? You see, I love to do business with the public. I love to do business with the public. Hey, hear this now. Just now, Real Talk Credit Union will be crossing the waters, you know. Don't get tied up. Don't get tied up. Don't get tied up. You see, people in Trinidad tell themselves that Saeed does business only in Trinidad. No. I don't just do business in Trinidad. I do business out of Trinidad also. I do spiritual work out of Trinidad. You know, they say the voodoo man doing work in Trinidad. Well, this voodoo man doing work outside Trinidad too. You think I'm afraid to say it? No. It's just that I am restricted from saying the you know, the letter starts with O. You know, it have pastors and pundits, even imams, when they meet me, they say, Saeed, you isn't afraid to talk about your spiritual work and think, no, why should I be afraid? Why should I be afraid? I was born gifted. You know, they have the pundits, they're born gifted. They have the imam, they're born gifted. And in Trinidad here now, they like to use the stigma as O-B-E-A. You know, that's the first word that is used. I'm not saying it, but I'm spelling it out because, you know, it kind of restricts us from saying the word out on television. You know. But why would you condemn somebody who doing spiritual work? A lot of people does that. They are born gifted. They didn't ask for it. Some inherit it. I born with it. And I am going to continue doing what I am doing as long as I am living. As long as I am living. This year I'm making 18 years I'm in this. 18 years and nothing is going to stop me. Nothing. So my workers is asked me, tonight is about me, you know, I want the public to understand who Saeed is. Because a lot of time people say, oh, Saeed, you only bashing party. But tonight is not about that. Tonight, I want you to understand who I am. Now, I will tell you something. When I finish school, you know, I always say I'll give a little bio about myself, you know, but, you know, it's just that news is becoming so hot. So hot. Is that I love to keep you informed. But tonight, I want to tell you a little bit about Saeed and who Saeed is and what Saeed represents. You see, being a Muslim and having a platform like this, I'll start from a religion. Being a Muslim, I represent the Muslim community in Trinidad and Tobago. They have a certain amount of respect for me. I have a certain amount of respect for the public. That is number one. Number two is that when I finished school, I started to do a trade. You know, I wanted to be a straightener, fixing cars. I wanted to be a painter. I wanted to be able to fix a car real neat and nice and enter a car show. I went along that pathway for about 20 years. About 20 years. Fix cars, enter a car show, win competition, you know, and about 18 years back, I got my calling to do spiritual work, and I started. Now, telling you the public about me is something that I haven't done. For the 5 years being on television, I haven't done that. So tonight you get a little bio of Saeed. Now, in doing spiritual work, I used to travel. Because somebody would come down from away in a foreign country in Trinidad, and they would have family down here. Hey, you know, we've seen this, we've seen that, we've seen the next. You know, we hear anything, talking till we only know any pundit or anybody we could go by to sort out the problem, you know, to see what's going on. And people who I do work for, like the guy who called in a couple nights and say some of his relatives came and something wrong with their foot and they got through. It's the blessings of God. It is not Saeed. It's the blessing, it's the power, it's the authority that God has bestowed upon me to do these things. So I used to travel back and forth, and I started doing business in Trinidad, out of Trinidad. So when I started in the working field, before I started to do spiritual work, I used to work in a grocery. After school, you do trade. You know, you have your qualifications, you know. You have your qualifications, you have your subjects, maths, English, accounts, POA, POB. I am 2 exams away from being a chemical engineer. I speak 6 different languages: Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, Hebrew, Greek, and English. I was born in South Trinidad. You know, so when you're married, you just move out. Everybody moves out when they're married. Some remain under the parents' house. Correct, Navin? So I started off in the working field. You know, I didn't reach on television just like that. I didn't become a businessman in Trinidad and Tobago just like that. Real Talk Group of Companies started off with Real Talk with Saieed Ali until Real Talk Security, Real Talk Equipment, Real Talk Real Estate. And so we started to climb the ladder. But being in my younger days, when I finished school, you do a trade. And I started to work in a grocery. And back then, you know, things were tough. Things just got a little tougher as the years go by. So I started to work in a grocery full with education, you know. Full with education. And I started to work in a grocery. And, you know, it started from there, and you're going up and you're going up and you're climbing the ladder. Work and save, work and save, work and save. And I started to do extra lessons because I wanted to become a traveling accountant. That is what I wanted to become, a traveling accountant. And the grocery I used to work for, there's a chain of business that grocery have. I won't mention his name, but there's a chain of groceries. And while working in the warehouse, supervising, you know, the boss found out that twice for the week I would finish work early just to go to classes, right? But I was given the time off by my seniors and them. And is school you do inside? Yes, not a problem. We will cut the time, and you could always make it up on an extra hour every day to make up your time that have been deducted. I said, no problem, okay, because I had a goal. I had a goal. I wanted to become a traveling businessman, a traveling accountant. Right? So, working in the grocery, working in the hardware, working in a haberdashery business also. And I started to climb. And the boss of the grocery found out I was doing accounts. So he came down and said, Saeed, I heard you doing accounts. I said, yes. He said, well, here what? I want you to leave here, and I want you to go up into the accounts department and work. And we started off. And I worked there for a couple years, well, until I ended up working SIS after. Believe me, when you're here, you reach by the gates in SIS, and anything after 6 and you're clock back here, you're going back home, you know. You see, punctuality, reaching on time, clocking card on time. We used to clock card 10 to 6. Did accounts for SIS also for a period of time. And in working now, my spiritual gift started to kick in. My calling started to become active. And I would look at somebody, and I would just read your dress. I would tell you what's going on with you. And so I started doing spiritual work 17 years back. This year will make it 18 years. And I started to travel. People started to come in Trinidad with family. You know, after sorting them out, they say, Saeed, so and so is the case, not a problem. I did a reading for them. You know, hey, do this, do that, do the next, and you will get through. I mean, it's the power of God. When Jesus walked the earth, when all those prophets from long ago walked the earth, they represented something. They represented a power that was stronger than them. They represented the creator of this world. Now I'm going to tell you something. Hinduism have their pundit. Christianity have their pastor. Islam have their imam. The Baptist arena have their leader. The Roman Catholic have their leaders. Every religion on the face of the earth have their leader. And I want you to understand that. Because in Trinidad, we quick to bash. We quick to bash. You know, and people who do spiritual work, they always get a stigma of being an OBEA man. You understand? We always get a fight down with that. But the thing is, if you clean and drain, what do they call you? Not a drain digger? If you're selling doubles, what do they call you? Not a doubles man? If you work in taxi, they will call you a taxi man. If you're a tout in a maxi, they will call you a tout, a hustler. Right? If you're picking up garbage in a truck, they will call you the garbage man. So spiritual people now, we had a stigma as being a voodoo man. I didn't say anything about that. Now, this calling that I have is something I never wanted. Because I had a plan. I worked hard, long hours. That is why I say when I tell you I work in 17 hours a day, I am accustomed to getting up early, going to bed late, because of working during the day and studying in the night to become an accountant. And I did. I did. And when my spiritual gift started to kick in now, I said, you know what? I said, Lord, this is something I don't want you to go. Leave me with that stigma as a voodoo man, you know. I ran from it. I ran from it. Now, in working, you would save your money. You would save your money. You would save your money. And when my calling started to kick in, I started to run. The pundit go tell you, the pastor go tell you, the imam go tell you, when you hear God calling you and you run, He does make things harder for you. So I started to run from my calling. I run, and God calling me north, I run in south. He calling me east, I go in west. And I started to run from my calling. And things started to get hard with me. The job started to get tough. People who you would like ring and finger with, they started to separate from you. Your money started to go down. Just imagine you have a nice hot looking car and you don't even have money to put gas. You don't have money to put gas. So I think God started to say, you know what? I'm going to make it a little tough for you. Remember the biblical story about Jonah and the whale? God sent Jonah to some island. And Jonah said, you see me? When the boat dropped him in that island, he ran back. Jump in the boat. Gone back, set sail for sea. Storm, boat can't. Whales swallowed him. He stayed, I believe, for 3 days. And where did that whale throw out Jonah? Where God designated him to go. Yeah. So I started to run from my calling, run and run and run, and things started to become tough and tough and tough for months. And I said, you know what, Lord? Say, hear this now. If this is my calling and this is what you have me to do, I said, I will gladly accept it. I said, but make sure. I said, make sure that I am safe. I am safe. And from the time I started this fully, let me tell you something. I have started to see the grace of God, the power of God, the ability of God. Let me tell you something. When that power started to manifest, the things I started to see, and the things I started to do, you know, people don't like to talk about spirituality in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't. We always label them as some voodoo something or jingle something or something. Right? But in all religion, they does say, this is God. This is God. And this is God. But you see, as a person, when I born into this world, among me were different hair type and different skin type, different race, different religion. And I understand in my country, Why would I condemn the African? Why would I condemn the Indian? Why would I condemn the Douglas? Why would I condemn the Chinese? Because when I born in Trinidad, these were the nations and the tribes I meet. I met them here. So why am I going to condemn? You know, in Trinidad, we love to condemn. We like to divide. We like the race talk. But the race talk ain't putting you nowhere. Because when you go in the market, you will see Africans selling dashing bush. You will see an Indian selling yam. You will see a Chinese selling something. But at the end of the day, in the market, you buy it from each one of them. So something we have to learn is do not condemn. So I started to see people, and I started to travel. And that is where the gift and the ability started to function more and more and more. And businesswomen started to come and see me. Businessmen started to come and see me. Until God had me in a place where ministers from outside countries coming to see Saieed. Because you know why? I'm in St. Grenada. I have a friend in Trinidad. Hey, all I know spiritual people down there, boy, I feel like I need to check myself. You know, when you have people go by the pundit to read the Patra, or to, you know, they go open the book and say, Baba, I needed to check my old boy. My date is so and so. And the pundit would open the book and he would give you a reading. Now, there are spiritual pundits also that they would look at you and they would tell you exactly what is going on with you. Same thing with the pastors. Same thing with the imams. Same thing with the Orisha, the Baptist, whatever religion you come from. Right? And from the normal people to the business sector to the minister. So when ministers started to come and ask for Saieed, because a family living in Trinidad, and Saieed, I have my friend across there, he's minister so-and-so, you know, they heard about you, they want to see us. I said, no problem, let them come. They say, you could go to them? They say, you could go to them? I said, sure, that's not a problem. So they would call me, we would make arrangement, they would buy ticket outside, come up, meet me this place. In the airport, my bodyguard will pick you up, they will bring you straight to our place. And for the last 17 years in my life, that is how it has been. That is how it has been. You know, so when I on television and I tell the public that, hey, I just do spiritual work, I am not afraid to say it. I am not afraid of the stigma that comes behind it. I am not afraid to let the public know, well, hey, Saieed is a man that do drink it. You could call it what you want. You could call it what you want. Because I will tell you something. When the pastor go on his pulpit and he preaching and he start to lay hands and you start to see this and you start to see that and you start to see the next happening, well, how you go call the pastor man a jingy man? Come now, Trinidad and Tobago. How you going to call the pastor man a jingy man? So the pundits and them now, when the pundits and them had their job, you know, and you go and you do your reading, and they do their prayers, and you start to see your way. When the pastor pray for you, you start to see your way. When Saieed do something for you, you start to see your way. So are you going to condemn all three of us? All three of us? Hear this now. I have a story to tell you, I have news for you, But somehow tonight is different. Tonight different. Tonight is where you getting to know Saieed and what Saieed represents. I am a businessman in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a licensed moneylender for the last 3 years. I have Real Talk with Saieed Ali, Real Talk Security and Intelligence, Real Talk Equipment, Real Talk Real Estate, and we have Real Talk Credit Union Information. 5 business. Right? 5 business. I started off Real Talk with Saieed Ali on television. I got up one morning and I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to have a show on television. And I contacted the general manager for Synergy TV, O'Brien Haynes. O'Brien came down by me, we sat. I said, Bri, I want to put a show on television. He said, okay, not a problem. He said, what is the name of the show? What name are you using? I said, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. He said, that's a nice name. He said, how did you come up with that name? I said, it's just an inspiration I get. Brian sit down on the porch. We sit down face to face. I said, just an inspiration I get. He said, no problem. So I started off in Synergy building on R. Peter Avenue. We went up, we did the promo. From a Synergy television, I still have workers. Hey, you all feel this joke. God is good, you know. God does send the correct people at the right time, you know. Always remember that. Always remember that. So, I have workers who were past workers of Synergy working here, you know. I think the graphics so hot. I ain't all man. So here it is. I started off on Synergy. Brian will tell me, Saeed, you know what you're about? Yes, I know what I'm about. 7 to 8, you do your thing. And we started to follow stories, and we started to bring the latest trend in, you know, and within that year, the Media Association in Trinidad and Tobago did a survey of the most viewed from different hours. And within 1 year time, Real Talk with Saieed Ali got the position of the second best or the second most viewed in Trinidad and Tobago. That was the first year. And Brian was shocked. He said, Saeed, he said, you work for it. He said, this is media. He said, you work for it. He said, enjoy it. And then at night, I lay down on my bed about 1:30 in the morning. I tell God, I said, Lord, I said, thank you for where I reach. This was about 5 years back, you know. After doing spiritual work and traveling and getting to know businessmen and ministers outside Trinidad, in Trinidad, that's when I started the show after that. I lay on my bed around 2:30 in the morning. I said, Lord, I said, I want to have the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. And all I heard, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So I started to ponder on those words for days and weeks. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So, I said, well, wait now, boy. I said, this has to have some meaning. He said, Saeed, if you want to press forward, being in media is a risky thing. If you want to press forward, you cannot hold back. You want to become #1? Yea, do I walk through the valley? You know, in some valleys in Trinidad, it's dark, it's dismal, you could get robbed, you could get chopped, you could get raped, you could get whatever. You're walking through the valley. Yea, do I walk through the valley? He said, you're walking through a valley. He said, but you must not have fear. He said, you will go in places that you would see death. But fear not, for I am with you. So I started, you know what? I have to become #1. I have to. And just as the words were read out in my ear, I started to take it and I plant it. I'm going to tell you something. I had a thought until the thought became a vision. And the vision became a reality. Let me tell you something. You want to know about Saeed? Tonight you're knowing who is Saeed. Because first time in 5 years I'm doing this. I have a script full here now. I have a script here now. My team was working whole day. But somehow tonight, you know when you go to church or you go to a temple and you're in a mosque and you hear this singing and they say, flow with the Spirit. Let the Spirit manifest. And Evan, when you go in the temple and you're beating your drum and your hair catch it, and you're not into suit, you want to dance. So tonight, I just flowed in the Spirit tonight. So I started the thought of becoming #1. It was a thought. Then it became a vision. I grasped it into a vision. From the vision, it became a reality in Trinidad and Tobago 4 years up the road. The 19th of March, my friend, next month, will make us 5 years on Synergy Television. And I have not shifted from Synergy. I got a lot of offers. Fast as I get in the offers, I told Brian, I said, Brian, you know, I got offers so and so and so. I said, but I want to assure you something. I said, I want to assure you something. I am not moving from here. I said, I started off here. I built the second best viewed program, and I will stay right here. Today we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. From a thought, I started to vision it. And if a vision it becomes a reality. Now, in doing my show on TV, I started to grasp business. I started to do business with businessmen outside Trinidad. Watch me, the kind of character I deal with, you would not believe, you know. I deal with people from the underground, straight up on top, from bandit to judges, because everybody wants something done spiritually. Everybody. And I started. The kind of people come to him, I was like, Lord, where these people come from? The amount of threats and things I get about this and that and the next. And morning I get up and hear the voice of God in my ears. Touch not the Lord's anointing. I said, eh? No, that is a strong word, you know. Back in the day, a lot of people used to threaten prophets. And we used to see a lot of things. If you read in Bibles and Quran and Gita and religious books, you will see how men of God were tortured long ago. But nevertheless, they did not give up. Daniel was a strong man. He was thrown in a lion den. A strong man. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, they used to sweep on him. They used to throw pee on him. A lot of things they did him. And all prophets and leaders from the beginning of time came up. They had a hard time. So when you see Saieed on television and see Saieed dressed nice and he looking good, let me tell you something, it's 17 hours a day. And then to come here from 7 to 8. So tonight is about me. I started to do, after Real Talk with Saieed Ali, I went into security and intelligence. I built a name there. In security and intelligence now, people had properties to sell while doing camera work on the inside. We have a property to sell. You know anybody? I said, not a problem. I said, we go work for a commission. I said, that is not a problem. And from security, while security running, real estate come in. Because when you would do some security for people and you do intelligence work like Saieed, you know which part people are land selling by your house and things. And I started to work right there. Yeah, boy, I know John have a piece down there. I said, well, we go work for a commission, you know. Not a problem, Saieed. We know you're a trustworthy man in Trinidad because we hear about you already. I say, okay. So we started security. We started real estate. Into real estate now. I say, you know what? We started to give estimate to build house and thing. So I climbed the ladder. Viewers, let me tell you something. You see them rubber slippers that I paid $20 for? When I used to work in the grocery, that was my way. I couldn't wear steel tip in because steel tip too heavy for me. You see that 100 pound in my foot? Me able with that. And then you had to throw that 100 pound on your back too, and then 100 pound on your foot? No. A 50 pound in your foot with that steel tip? Me able with that. So I leaving home with that $20 slippers on my foot, coming to work, and going home back. The only time I used to wear shoes is when I used to go classes at night. Classes starting from 7 o'clock and finishing 10 o'clock. That counts, you know. When I reach home 10 o'clock now, you have to relax, you have book work to do, and then you have to rest now to reach back in work for 6:30 the next day. That went on for years. It went on for. But nevertheless, I grew and I grew and I grew until we have Real Talk equipment rental. I used to rent a partner back. I used to sub-rent it, you know. Saieed, here what's going on. I need to take a backhoe for me. I need a piece of work done. So I say, well, that will cost you so much and so much. No problem. You organize, get the backhoe, get the truck, wherever it is, and do the work. So I rent in. I go rent an excavator, I go rent a truck, I go rent a backhoe. Until you know what? Until you know we go grow. And that's it. So we grow. We grew. Today now, look how time flies, eh? Then 25 to 8 already. That's how time flies. Today, now, about a year or 2 years back, we started the process on opening a credit union. Now keep in mind, before this credit union come into play, I still lend money. I started to buy and sell cars. Because when you hear do spiritual work for somebody and they say, hey, your work costing you 10,000 or 15,000, when 3 people come for the day, I 30,000, between 30 to 45, 50,000. You understand? So I say, you know what, this money sitting here ain't making no sense. I went and I got my license. It took me a period of time, almost 7-8 months, and I started to lend money about 3 years back. But I work hard, you know. 17 hours a day I working. Right? Until I started to build myself and I started to lend money and make money. So you know what? I needed something that would create a way that people would have access to a loan easier than money lending. So about 2 years back, I got in touch with someone from the Credit Union League. I won't call her name, but I thank God for bringing that person at the correct point in time when I had a thought. I had a thought. And I seek advice from that person in steps. How to do steps and how to get this, how to get that, how to get the next. Say, no problem. We had a team. Today I am proud to tell you Real Talk Credit Union is a team. It is not Saeed. It's a team. You see, with me, teamwork is important. That is why when I come here from 7 to 8, you're going to hear me say Navin. Navin have about 2-3 jobs, you know. Navin have about 2-3 jobs, you know. I doesn't afraid to big them up, you know why? I am already there. I made my sacrifice and I am already there. God have me here with sacrifice and blessings. I am here. So behind me, if I could push up our brother, I will push up our brother to my director, Flex. He's a DJ man. The man got on the keyboard and the turntable and he could shake a leg too, don't doubt it. Being in music business, he must know how to shake a leg. And I even have a wife there. I just call her the hummingbird. She's a singer, plus I think she just play a little instrument and thing. She just hosts good. Navin Lalu Streaming Network. That is Navin, that business Navin recently opened. Watch me now, let's in the candle lighting and joke. Let's in the candle lighting and joke. Let me tell you something. God said to us human beings, I am the light of the world. If you follow this light, your light will shine. So I am trying to follow in the pathway of God. But that don't mean to say if you come and hit my cloud in my head, me I go cough you down, you know. That don't mean to say if you come and spit on me, I go slap you down, you know. That don't mean to say if you cuss me, I go zip them out, you know, just how you tell me, I tell you back one time. Have respect for me, and I will have respect for you. As simple as that. So I go light my light, Navin go light, we go following God's path, and we light shining. The men and women in Trinidad and Tobago and outside Trinidad seen our light shining and calling we. Hear this now, boy. I need a singer for tonight, boy. Here now, boy, side, boy. My wife's hearing thing in the house, boy. And it goes on. It goes on. So people are saying, oh, Saeed, because you're this and because you're that, because you have money and you have business, you're talking like that. No, 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 no. When I was toting 100 pounds of flour on my back, You know who it had with me? You want to know who it had with me? Lord, give me the strength to do this, you know. That is the spirit that had with me. That name, Lord, is who it had with me. When they had to load a man from the truck, drop that 100 pounds on your back. The first thing you're bawling is, oh God. When you feel the weight, you're bawling, oh God. You're bawling, oh Jenny, or the wife name, or the man down the road name, or your partner. No, you're bawling, oh Lord. Because if your knee can't take it, you're falling just so, you know. You're falling like a tire fall from a height, you know. And I started, and I kept praying. I said, Lord, I want to make myself somebody. I want to be somebody in this life. I want to be an example. I want to be a role model. And I kept praying. And I kept fasting. Today, we're going to talk about the present now. Today, I am Saieed Ali. I am a public figure who, when you hear I come on my set and I say, hey, Amo, what about the laws or the amendment for scrap iron? Twice I mentioned it on television. A couple days after, you know what? Saieed, take it. Last year, 2022 and 2021, we got almost 9 or 10 legislation and amendment and laws passed for Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. What the UNC couldn't pass, Saieed got it passed right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Why? Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. God said to us, his children, whether you're black, you're white, you're green, you're yellow, it doesn't matter what color. Call upon me in the time of need, and I will answer you. And I have been calling upon God. I have been calling upon God. Here I am in the present. In the present. Real Talk with Saieed Ali is the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. Saieed Ali has a company, Real Talk group of company. We have the rental, we have real estate, we have credit union, we have security and intelligence, we have equipment rental, and this is Real Talk group have all these business. Let me tell you something. When Brian Haynes came and sat in my gallery, and he said, what is the name of the show, Saieed? You wouldn't believe I hadn't a clue what to say, you know. And some words come out my mouth. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And let me tell you something. From then to now, Real Talk have been branded by Saieed. It have been branded by Saieed. Anyway, go anybody, you hear anybody, hey, you know about Saieed? Oh, you mean Real Talk, man? Yes, we're talking about that, man. Real Talk is branded by Saieed. That is why we have all my companies. Real Talk Credit Union, Real Talk Security and Intelligence, Real Talk Intelligence, Real Talk Equipment, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. The first 2 words is Real Talk. That is the name that God blessed me with 5 years back. And today, viewers, it stands very strong and powerful in Trinidad. That is what you call a word given. You know, the Christian philosophies that say when I get up in the morning, you know, Lord, give me a word. And you go, a word that just fall into your spirit. It happens with the Hindu, the Christian, the Muslim, the Roman Catholic. It happens with everybody. It's an inspirational word. You know, sometimes you hear the radio, they say, it's an inspirational tune. All I want me start singing here in a different language, you know. All I go say, I'm chanting. But nevertheless, viewers, my history for the last 17 years in spirit work, I have reached places I have never thought I would have reached. I have met with people that I have never thought I would met. I have broken spiritual curse, generation curse, bondage, dismissed spirit from people. Let me tell you something, these things exist. These things exist. In Trinidad, we are afraid to talk of the spiritual world. We are afraid. Hence the reason why some of us don't know of knowledge about the hereafter. We don't. Sometimes you see somebody screaming out just so, oh God, like they're getting mad, they're not getting mad, something wrong with them. But you know what? We as human beings in our own country, we like to condemn. We like to condemn the pastor, we go condemn the pundit, we go condemn the Roman Catholic priest, we go condemn the imams, and we condemn it from our side. But hear this. Hear this. If a same spiritual person leave their country and come in the stadium, you know the whole of Trinidad and Tobago want to see that person? I remember when Marshall went, is India Marshall went and he met Guru? Look how things change. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. Sadhu Guru started, he get up and he started dance and lay with Marshall. What did the Hindus and them said? What did they say? They couldn't say one thing. You know why? Eat the best, drink the best, dress the best, and enjoy yourself in moderation. God never condemned, but He gave you wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. You see, I'll tell you something. You see, acknowledgement. I understand Navin is do streaming. I understand Navin is a musician. But do I acknowledge Navin knows about technology? No, I don't know that. All I know is Navin is who's streaming. I understand that, just like I understand if I wear his glasses, I go see the writing bigger and better. But do I acknowledge the purpose of the glasses? That is a different level of understanding. That is a different level. Not everybody have that type of understanding. So when you hear I come here, and you hear I ask for a certain law or amendment to pass, hence the reason why it has come forward without hesitation. You know why? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You know why? God light that light on Saieed. And it will have nobody in this world to out that light beside the hands of God. So when you are talking about Navin, because Navin like lighting, you know, not just the candle, you know. Let me tell you something. Tonight, I'll know about Saieed and a little bit of the history about Saieed, where I come from, what I used to do. So when you see me driving my Porsche, or you see me driving a nice drop-low Benz, don't say nothing. You know why? Because when I work in 17 hours a day, some of you sleeping on the bed. Some of you ain't get up yet. You understand? Some of you wondering what to do. You're getting up 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you something. Once you labor in the vineyard, you will get through. Now, I'm saying something for you. I'm going to tell you something. As long as you work hard in Trinidad, you will get what you want. Once you work hard in Trinidad, you will get what you want. Drop that for me. I'm going to tell you something, viewers. I struggled to make myself somebody today. I had no friends. Worked very, very hard for what I want. Today, I am a successful businessman in Trinidad and Tobago. You know who was with me? God was with me. St. Giles and Patella, straight up here. I worked very hard. So when you see me driving a Porsche, or you see me driving a Benz, it didn't come easy, you know. I worked for it. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, when 90% of Trinidad and Tobago sleeping. Saieed working. side on the road driving with a bodyguard somewhere part of Trinidad because somebody wants to see Saeed. You know I just move with a bodyguard in case my vehicle shut down now, but I have somebody with me to help me change tire. You feel like stupid? You think I go get a flat tire and me alone change and no, I have a company with me. He jacking up and I break in the nut. And that is how it is. You have to make sacrifice. You have to make sacrifice outside here. So when I come here and you hear the little gilligans and them outside, oh, we go for side, we go do this, we go do that. 2.5 years back, they make an attempt behind my son. 3 of them blind, police shoot one. 3 of them blind, police shoot one. Do not come at me. This is statements I am making. Do not come at me. When they went behind my son, they didn't realize that boy father is a man whose spirit work. They did not realize that, otherwise they would have never attacked that boy. So when you see I driving these vehicles and them, try it out. Well, Trinidad and Tobago would notice this Benz. It's a white Benz. Everybody would know that in Trinidad. That light up Facebook. That's Real Talk Benz. We got a trophy for that in our car show as the best Euro vehicle in Trinidad and Tobago. The Benz hot. When I tell it hot, it hot. It costs a lot. I labor in the vineyard and I spend on what I wanted. So if you see me driving my Porsche and my Range Rover on the road, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because the sacrifice I sacrifice in 1 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping. Don't say nothing. It's the first thing that they say, oh, that man dealing drugs, boy. Oh, he dealing guns. Oh, he marijuana or something. No, side, not on that. Today I dealt with a businessman. He bought a Benz from me. And he's a Rasta. He said, Saeed. He said, here, that's not boy. I just go to sleep 1 o'clock in the morning and I get back up 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Come back to me. He said, I am a Rasta. He said, people will feel I deal in drugs. He said, but I am a construction worker. Come back to that. He's a construction worker. He has his own crew. He worked hard too. He started off with nothing until today. He's a contractor in Trinidad. Have his own development going on. He said, Saeed. He said, people see me there, Saeed dealing in something because I was a Rasta. You see, but I'm working hard. And when the man sat down in front, man, his spirit in me started to kick up. And I started to read out the man. The man come from nothing into something. Same thing with me, I came from nothing. Let me tell you something. You have to start somewhere in order to reach where you want to go. You have to. So tonight was not about politics. Tonight was not about the guns, the drugs. Tonight was about Saeed. So people would understand where I come from. I come from nothing into something. When I was growing up, they had cane cutting in them days. Lagoon planting. When I go by my grandmother at 6 o'clock, you had to get off the bed 10 to 6. You know why? We have about 50 goats to go and tie out in the lagoon. Them days I can't forget. Grandmother making sure and come up upstairs. Get up, we had to go in the garden. Get up, you had to go and tie the goat. Up in Moruga there. So when you hear Nicholas tell himself, I don't know where he living. Nicholas, it's just I want to come by your house. I'd rather put you up on television and let your family and friends know who you are. Even that same man, Rodney. This man put a vehicle by me. I hear he sell the vehicle. He come and tell me he sell the vehicle. Next thing I know, he say, a neighbor called. He said, Saeed, the man no sell the vehicle. The man had the vehicle. I said, serious? I said, all right. I said, I go deal with him. You don't try to rob Saeed. Saeed is a man could say a prayer and push you up the ladder. I could light a light and I could make you go under the ground. Oops, Saeed, don't say that. But it's the truth. It's the truth. That's the power and the ability God gave to me. Do I practice it? Jump the fence by me and you will see. Jump the fence and you're going to know if I practice it. You see, a pundit will practice his pundit work. A pastor will practice his pastoring work. An imam will practice his teaching and his imam work. Saeed, you think I'm backward? I practice what God gave me. So tonight, viewers, we're almost out of time. Tonight, you know where I started. I started in a grocery, working hard. And then I did accounts and POA and POB and chemistry. I am 2 exams away from being a chemical engineer. I studied hard. I studied 5 different languages: Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, Hebrew, and Greek. So any one of these rich countries, you tell yourself, wait now boy, we had to learn that language. I go in there and I'm making money and coming back right in Trinidad here. I work SIS, I work grocery, I buy and sell car. Today I have 4 or 5 different companies, including Real Talk, Credit Union Information. And let me tell you something. Hence the reason why I could come and tell you, here what's going on. We're giving you 4%. 4% on our fixed deposit. So you want to know where I come from? Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Saieed, I will let your light shine in and around the world. Let me tell you something. Right around the world, Trinidad, no outside. Right around the world. That is where you call our blessings from God. So when I hear people call me and say, oh, Saieed, carefully credit union and apply the Hindu credit union. Really? I got 10 legislations and amendments passed to Trinidad and Tobago. What that credit union do for you? They may put a box straight in front of your house. So don't try to condemn me. You understand? Don't condemn me. It's a light here standing in front of you. One good thing I am proud of, I don't boast, I am proud to say, I don't beg nobody to sponsor this program. And when this program running, it's a hand, nobody could compare this program to other program, because what we getting done, what I am asking for and getting for all you, nobody else can do it. Nobody. That is where you call the power of God manifesting in front of your eyes, and all still wouldn't acknowledge it. Illa anta bakil matur illa anta. My people will perish. You know why? Rahamaturkum la illa inna. Because they lack of knowledge. We rather condemn the Hindu. We rather condemn the Baptist. We rather condemn the teachings. But you know what? Knowledge is power. So we're out of time for tonight, viewers. But nevertheless, tomorrow is Fantastic Friday. We're going to be fantastic in tomorrow night. Until we meet again, good night.